I'm a cat. We're talking about cats. So I'm a cat. Meow? 2019 was a wild year for films. For example, I convinced Lucas to go see Frozen 2 with me. I'm not saying it nearly ended our friendship, but between that and Peter Rabbit, I have a lot of redeeming to do. But one good thing about going was that it meant it was where Lucas first saw the Cats trailer. After months of avoiding it, adamant they weren't going to go see it. But once they did, they finally agreed to go see it with me. So thank you, Frozen 2. You helped me to trick one of my closest friends. Worth it! And even though this film was neutered in reviews, I am going to list 5 things Cats got right. Special effects. Yeah, welcome to my channel, home of the controversial opinion. Deal with it. The special effects of this movie very quickly became the butt of jokes all across the internet, and I'm not going to sit here and say that they were good. Certain parts of the movie actually left me really disorientated. But, it's important to have full context. One of the other things this film became famous for is the fact that Tom Hooper was constantly tinkering around with it till the actual day of release. Yikes. I can't imagine the stress and anxiety the effects team had to endure, and yet even though they clearly did not have the time and this is an educated guess here, not enough money, they still managed to cobble together a movie, no matter how unfinished. For all the really obvious mistakes, there are also some really pretty moments, and if they could do this without the proper resources, imagine what they could have done if they had. Animators in Hollywood are some of the most underappreciated people in the industry. They work harder than they're paid, and they are worth twice as much as that, and throwing them under the bus is simply not okay.
Nobody more than us understands the importance of good visual effects.
Gross. Plot. Have you ever tried explaining the plot of Cats to someone and then, when you're done, they then ask you, and then what happens? The Cats musical is famously plotless, whereas other shows have a synopsis of the plot. With Cats, the synopsis is the plot. The basic elements of the show are the original poems, choreography, and as much lycra as Lord Andy wanted. Cats is basically a review show, so the movie strips away the superfluous songs, well, the most superfluous songs, and that helps to express explicitly which cats are auditioning for the Heaviside Lair. Are they auditioning? What? Are they trying to fly away on the Heavens UFO? Yeah, because in certain versions, that's what happens. Like, Grisabella gets on a UFO and gets taken up into the sky to be reincarnated. What even is this show? Songs. With a reworking of the plot, it was decided to rework the songs, one of the main changes being that the characters sing their own songs. I'm not going to say that this was good. In fact, in certain places, I hate it. But in other places, I kind of love it. Gus the theatre cat, for example, he's changed from a very sad character, on his last legs, that's just as deserving of the Heaviside Lair as Grisabella, to this ageing theatre great whose best days are behind him, but he's still so full of life and has plenty of friends to share a drink and a story with.
If someone else pays.
Actors. Some lines become even more touching when it's Sir Ian McKellen singing them.
Well, the theatre is certainly not what you'd want.
But the best change was Mr. Mistopheles. In both the show and movie, old Deuteronomy is catnapped and it's up to Misto to get them back. In the film, it's a slow build, as he's not really sure of his skills and he has to build up his confidence until he's able to do it and complete his character arc. In the show, Misto is introduced by his boyfriend, Rum Tum Tugger, and is pretty easily able to bring old Duke back, but first, he gotta dance. Which is one of the best parts of the show, but now all I'm thinking is, that's great, that's amazing, I certainly couldn't do that, but what about old dudes? They kinda need rescuing, cause those rat creatures could be doing literally anything to them right now.
I'm still in peril and being tortured. If only someone who could rescue me at any moment could do so right now. Any second now, that would be appreciated. Dang Judi Dench didn't get treated this way.
Munkerstrap. Munkerstrap is the story's narrator and guide. He takes our hand in his own experienced paw and leads us through the Jellicle Ball. He's the leader and guardian of the clan and tends to be a fan favourite. Very popular with the mums. In a movie filled with over-the-top performances and actors just not caring, he's here giving this earnest and genuine performance. All you have to do is look at this guy and you know what he's all about. He's protective and vigilant, but he's also got integrity and great compassion. Look at him crying during Grisabella's song. Robbie Fairchild, you were an absolute delight. Jennifer Hudson. So, as the lights went down and the movie began, I leaned over to Lucas and said, "See you on the other side." About 15 to 20 minutes in, I was sitting in my theatre seat, seized with horrifying anxiety. Between the awkwardness that was the Gumby Cat and the lackluster Rum Tum Tugger performance, whose idea was it for actors to sing on set? I began to get the creeping feeling that this wasn't going to be good bad. It was just going to be bad. And I was sweating cobs because I was the one who convinced us all to go. And then she appears. Like a beautiful, snot-covered angel of hope. And it was then I thought, maybe this film won't be so bad. There might actually be some good things here. And it only got better from there. Every time she was on screen, the theatre went deathly silent with reverence. Jennifer Hudson is on screen. Shut up, it's Jennifer Hudson. And Hudson's Grisabella is so broken, so fragile, she is barely able to hold herself up. Oh, I just want to scoop her up, take her to her new forever home and give her all of the dreamies. And then memory happens. Every bloody time. YouTuber Lindsay Ellis did a wonderful video that cuts to the heart of the problem with the Cats movie. Director Tom Hooper said he wanted to ground the story in realism. Mate, it's cats. Because of this, Hooper tried to essentially take all of the cats out of Cats. The pantomimes, the obvious man crushes, he even toned down the abject horniness of the show. But Cats is a force of nature and cannot be restrained by mere mortals. People crucified the McCavity scene, but this, right here, this is peak Cats. Whether you like it or not. And I do. I'm not going to say the movie's good. But, like any good bad film, when it's shared with good friends, it is elevated to something else. As we sailed down the streets, euphoric with the film we just saw, and spent the rest of the evening joking and talking about how much we enjoyed it, measuring things in regards to Idris Elba's. So there were good, fun things in Cats 2019 that unfortunately were offset by directorial and studio decisions. Maybe in another world there's a version of Cats that does the show right. One that's more whole. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like or maybe a comment. It's like catnip to me. And if you'd like to see more, then join the Jellicle tribe by subscribing.